you call a mental health professional because I'm fasting? I'm not anorexic. I don't have a self-image problem where I feel that I'm not pretty enough or I need to be thinner and I don't look good and I feel fat. This has nothing to do with mental health. If anything, this is a very clear sign that I have very good willpower and mental strength, because I know what's going on. I know I've combined what I'm doing with a lot of research. I'm not doing anything unsafely. It's nobody's business but my own, what I do with that. Should I just start? I could basically, yeah, I'm eating. I'm eating now. How's that? Does that make everybody feel better? I'm eating now. I could lie. That's usually what people do who have mental health disorders. If they want to hide something, if they do something that they know is wrong or that they feel that's a wrong period or unhealthy in some way, they hide it. I'm not hiding it because there's nothing wrong with it and I've educated myself about it. So basically, this man is supposedly coming out to see me. Before I get into my next topic, which is going to be, as I stated, about the FBI and about the police and how I try to make a report of rape. Because basically, if you are raped multiple times in a country and the state doesn't do anything about it, the state as in quote-unquote a country, if the country doesn't do anything about it and they continue to allow sexual assaults and rape and they refuse to enforce the law or prosecute, it's considered it sounds strange, but the international UN and treaties surrounding that consider that to be a form of torture. A torture that you can even just on its own, you can use that against a country to make a claim against a country for torture. Because repeated rapes that a person tries to, and a sexual assaults that somebody tries to report, which go unanswered and are dismissed, implies allowance, consent, and contribution to those rapes and crimes, and it means that that person is unsafe in their own country. So, my topic today was going to be about what happened next with the police and how they treated my reports and the FBI, and suddenly we have, military, and I'm like, so I asked my dad, I said, so you made the call on this, and he said, yes, I did, and I said, right. I said, look at you. I said, you have your eyes don't look normal, and I said, and that outside effect was really great too. My ears feel good too. I mean, I can really hear well. And I said, so let's get it straight. They're torturing you until you do what they want you to do, which is to act like you're consenting to have me evaluated for this mental reason or whatever. I said, and then I blew up. I said, this is the third time. This is probably not even the third time. There are probably more times that I can think of, and it's not coming to mind immediately because I can't think of the most dramatic incidences. However, this is the third time that the FBI and persons have tried to involve themselves and interfere with my life and tried to falsely imprison me, because putting me in any kind of position where I'm going to jail or I'm going to a mental institution to be locked up, or then I'm today supposedly having to speak with a mental health person because what is their intention? The only reason anybody would come out is because they have an intention to try to lock me up somewhere. That's a false imprisonment. This is the third time, and every single time has been after I have gone to the FBI or I'm about to report the FBI about something. And it has to do, and typically, since I've been with Alvaro, the agent, it's been, when I'm talking about him as well, and I recently did talk about him. So, yeah, this is what's preceding. Supposedly there is somebody coming out at 11 o'clock. today to talk to me, and I'm absolutely positive that my parents have nothing to do with it, and I know that they're being coerced and forced because I know that they are being assaulted. And like I said, I made a UN report about my whole family, not just me, but my parents. When I first arrived here and I saw what was being done to them, and my entire communications were shut down, my computer was shut down, and it has never worked since. They just basically turned it off, forcing me to buy a new one eventually. Then also my parents were victimized further. So this really has nothing to do with my parents voluntarily having any concerns. It has to do with being coerced and tortured and pushed until they do what this country wants them to do. And I already wrote about where Fowler's coming from. He's military. He's worked 12 years with Louis Freeh in New York, and then got a little boost up to D.C. when Freeh was then in D.C. And they both worked in organized crime departments. So both of them, I wrote about it on my blog, both of them worked in organized crime units in New York in the same field office for about 10 years. And then Agent Fowler got a job promotion to Washington, D.C. when Freeh was in Washington, D.C. So I'm sure that they just, they're not connected at all. And it's very interesting because Fowler raced over here to work in Oregon after I arrived in Oregon. He showed up about 1-2 months later. And why would anybody be that interested in me? Well, you know what? If the country really did do something as bad as what I'm saying they did, they're that interested in me. Because they have done horrendous things. They've committed crimes. They've committed crimes of torture. They've concealed torture. They are criminals. I don't care what anybody says. And then the craziest thing is that they thought they could reduce their liabilities by getting me to marry their FBI agent, and we could all be one happy family. I'm not a happy camper. And thank goodness that I did not marry Alborough after the things that this country and these people have done to me. So I'm going to leave it right here, actually, because I am going to get into what the police did and how they treated my reports of rape and what the FBI then did. And I'm going to finish this today. I'll make another post after I meet this mental health person. But I'm going to put this one out here first. Because if for some crazy reason I get carried off again for another false imprisonment, I want it to be known exactly when these things are occurring. And it's every single time it is before I'm about to expose the FBI about something. I'm tired of the bullshit. And pardon my language. I'm sorry because I can't probably bleep it out. I don't know how to edit well enough on my camera. I'm not Clint Eastwood. Thanks for your time. Wherever you are, I hope that you are in better condition than I am. And I hope that many people will come to the assistance and support of those who are politically maligned and imprisoned and assaulted for money reasons. Because what it really comes down to in the long end of things is a lot of money. And I can go into how much money that is at a later date. It's a lot of money. It's not millions, it's billions. And it's gone over several years. And where the money's coming from and where it's going and what it's for, I can also get into. And I cannot get into it right now because I don't have the time. Show me one good FBI agent. can I meet one? Is there like one honest one? Because I think anybody who's honest and good left. I don't think that the agency has any. You have to be a criminal to work for them. I mean, you have to go along with what they do. If you have to go along with your boss telling you to not take up an investigation, you have to go along with what they say and what they do. So what's happened to all of the FBI agents that left because of the corruption? I mean, where did they go? Did they end up in psych wards too? Or what? Did they like leave the country? Where did the good ones go? Where did the good ones go that got into the agency and thought, I'm gonna do a good service, and then all of a sudden they realize I am working for the frickin' devil? I mean, where did they go? Did they start up their own group? Because maybe they should start up their own group and start fighting for the people who are being slandered by this corrupt agency that's getting federal tax dollars and is only working for special interests. This is a very highly... The FBI is turned not into a public agency and a public service agency, but a special interest agency. They go where the money flows. That's it. They don't go after white-collar corporate crime and criminals. They go after what they consider to be scumbags. They go after the political liability people. They go after, they're special interest people. I mean, it's looking to me like all they do is cover for the crap that politicians smear all over the sidewalks that we have to step over.